So everybody has been talking about these sundown towns as of late and how this hurricane veered directly in the path of these sundown towns in North Carolina. Well, this right here is an interactive map of the current and suspected sundown towns across the United States. Do you guys see all of this over here? Now, this area over here is where Hurricane Helene created most of the damage. As you can see, around this area, there are a lot of sundown towns. Now, look at the key with me, because it looks like everything in gray, they don't know. What's in pink is possible. What's in red is probable. Deep red is surely. Gray is unlikely or biracial. Black is, black township. And as you can see here, there's not many. But it seems like there are a lot of possible, probably, and surely, especially right here in this area in the Midwest. And in case you don't remember, here is the path of the hurricane. Does that look familiar to y'all? Look at that, because it was heading in towards the Midwest, where again, you see a lot of surely, probably, and possible. Now, according to spiritual nomenclature, the true meaning of hurricane is the spirit of the melanated woman who has been stolen, beaten, raped, murdered, enthroned, overboard, and also her power taken away from her. This is why hurricanes come with names, because they know what's really going on. They know what's doing this. Now, if you ask me, do I think this is the spirit of the ancestors doing this? The spirit of the carbonated woman who is really God in the physical that is doing this? Well, you tell me. Isn't 33 the age of enlightenment? The age that Jesus died and reached enlightenment? Aren't there also 33 degrees of Freemasonry that is actually holding occult esoteric knowledge from the regular people? And then you have the 3, you add them up, you get the 6, and then you flip that, the 9, as above so below. 3, 6, 9. So do I believe it's the ancestors that's doing this? Y'all tell me. Y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this, because like I said, it's not over. So again, this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in. Have y'all seen some of the damages that Hurricane Helena has done to the west coast of Florida? Look at this over here, y'all. Water is everywhere. Like, Hurricane Helena brought out all the elements to play, y'all. This is right here in St. Pete, Florida, literally 2 hours down the road from me. Look at the ocean. Look how dirty it is. Usually this thing is pristine blue. Look at this, y'all. That's not even the word. The ocean also brought the sand along to play, y'all. What? I'm talking about fruity pebbles in the engine type of sand. Look at this. Like, these cars are not going to go anywhere. Salt water and sand. Oh my goodness. Like, who thought it was a good idea to leave their car by the sand during a hurricane? Even people's homes was inundated by sand as well. Look. Do y'all see how much sand that is? Look, it's right next to the counter. It's counter level sand. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, that house is destroyed. Wow. Seaweed too? Here goes another one, y'all. Check this out. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Boy, are y'all believing the new map now? So what do y'all think about this now? What do you guys think about this? Because ironically enough, this is kind of like what just happened. Georgia got it, South Carolina, North Carolina, parts of Tennessee, and Florida. Look at that, y'all. And then remember, after this eclipse, there's more energy to be released, because that's what eclipses are doing. It's cutting off old energy. So there are more things gonna be taking place, y'all. And I got more stuff to show y'all what's been going on around the planet, y'all. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in. You guys ever see this and be like, man, this has got to be a simulation, because ain't no way this is real? And then that you hope to wake up from this dream or this game, this simulation. Because look at this, y'all. See, I'm in Florida and I've been through countless of hurricanes, but nothing like this, y'all. This is catastrophic. This is on a whole nother level. I have never seen anything like this. Like, how do you rebuild from this? How? You know how they keep saying, the government, we're going to build back better, we're going to do better, be stronger. Where do you start? The whole pipe under the road completely destroyed. There is nowhere in or out of this, y'all. North Carolina, this is like, and I don't hear nothing still yet on the news of how catastrophic this has been. And then yet, y'all, there is still nothing on the news about what is happening or what has happened. See, we conspiracy theorists told y'all a long time ago that the media is not for y'all. This is why ever since TikTok came into fruition and then people were putting information instead of dances on TikTok, the views on the media has plummeted. Why do you think they all have a TikTok account now? Every single news media has a TikTok account because nobody's watching them. Everybody's watching TikTok because this is where true information comes. But nonetheless, what's happening in North Carolina right now, you guys should already know what time it is. And like I keep telling you, things are going to get a lot more interesting. If y'all want to know more, y'all got to go on my YouTube for this type of information, because this is not for TikTok, but this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
Why you think they call it a hurricane? That's the spirit of a black woman for what you did for slavery. All hurricanes start at West Africa, at the same spot where the slaves was put on the ship. All hurricanes stay underwater and follow the same trail the slave ship followed. It'll hit this country and come up the East Coast, all the way to Maine. Maine is as close to Canada as I am to this mic, but Canada's never had one.
I don't want people to think I'm crazy. But with all the videos that I'm seeing on all the theories of what's happened with Florida and the Southeast with Hurricane Helene, I think it might need to be mentioned. I'm a weather watcher, okay? And I was watching this thing as it was churning around in the Gulf and so forth, and I was watching videos on TikTok. This girl, and I didn't save her video, so I don't know who she is, but she posted something extremely interesting that now I'm thinking about it when maybe I should have thought about it then, but it just seemed odd. She was confused as to why she was witnessing planes that weren't hurricane tracking planes flying in towards the hurricane out off the Gulf Coast of Florida. Planes that weren't U.S. kind of planes that track hurricanes, that get down inside it and monitor things. It wasn't that kind of plane. And it was more than one plane. And she posted that video, and I wish I could find it now, but I can't find it. But is there a connection there? Did something happen? Did we miss something? And this girl saw it happening, and she probably didn't even realize what she was seeing. Now I'm seeing reports about something called blue jelly balls that were falling up in Appalachian and other places. Some lady actually got pelted by one or something. And the blue jelly balls are supposed to be some kind of government thing that helps control weather. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like out there. But it's got my brain boggled a little bit. It makes me wonder, did something happen? Did we miss something? Surely none of this was on purpose. Surely none of it was on purpose. Oh my gosh, none of this was on purpose, right? Please tell me that. I'm seeing the reports about how much lithium and quartz is in these areas where the mudslides and floods took place in Appalachia, just a few hours from me. And how the government needs that stuff. How it needs to be mined because they need the lithium. They need the quartz. It has something to do with AI and all this other stuff. Surely, please, God, tell me that the government wasn't in on this destruction, killing its own people to put money in their pockets. Please tell me that's not true. Please. Y'all tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. Go ahead. I can take it. I can take it. As we watch another system boil up out in the Gulf at this very moment on October 2nd. God help us all. God help us all. I'm truly hoping I'm truly way out there mentally on this issue and that none of it's going to make sense. That would make me feel a whole lot better, actually. But it's scary to even think about that. It's scary to even think about that. People up there have lost everything. It's devastating. And people have lost relatives, everything they own, their animals, everything's gone. And it's going to take years for them to rebuild. Is the government going to come in and just declare it all a disaster zone and not let people back on their land? I don't know. This stuff doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Somebody, come on now. Make it make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And I'm hoping I'm wrong.
I've been seeing so many things about the news not covering what's happening here in the Appalachian Mountains with all the flooding, or comments downplaying what just happened, stuff like that. I've been hearing so many things, and I am here as a local girl here in East Tennessee in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm going to tell you about what happened and why we weren't prepared for this. First of all, the proportions of flooding that we just got have never happened in the history of ever, as far as I'm aware of. It's really hard to be prepared for something that is not normal. We're not Florida, where we get hurricanes in massive proportions every year. No, that doesn't happen here. Speaking specifically to my town, I live on the south side of the river. Anytime I want to go to town, I have to cross the river. We have about 4 bridges that are close enough to me that I can take them to town any given day. Within a few hours, every single one of those bridges was closed, washed away, or covered in water and debris. We were not given a warning that it was going to be that bad, okay? I was actually across the river at my church, and I got a text message from our local news station letting me know that one of our bridges just washed away. So I hurried home, but we just were not given warning, sufficient warning for this type of thing. Nobody had any idea that the proportions of flooding that happened were going to happen. A place right up the road, Erwin, Tennessee, has suffered horrible amounts of damage. They have like over 70 people missing right now. My town, well, we have at least one person missing because it's a family friend. He was out trying to help, and his boat capsized and he got washed away and is yet to be found. But we have people here who have lost everything. What we need right now is not people asking, how did you not prepare for this? What we need is people willing to help.
So first of all, not only is Asheville not a sundown town, it's 12% black and it voted blue in the last election. And also, it's important to know that sundown towns are not synonymous with the South. In fact, there are plenty of sundown towns in the Midwest. There's a sundown town in California. It's argued that there may be more sundown towns in the Midwest than in the South. So my question for you now is, are the people of North Carolina now worthy and deserving of your help? Since we have now proven ourselves, does that mean that we no longer deserve to be victims of government incompetence and lack of caring?
Help me understand something. So, Southeast United States gets hit with a massive hurricane. An entire town is gone. People are stranded. People have been unalived. People can't get in and out. People can't get to safety. No power, no food, no cell phone reception whatsoever. People haven't heard from their families in days. A proper crisis. Yet our government has approved an aid package to Israel so that they can continue to eradicate an entire people needlessly while also targeting Lebanon? Am I understanding that correctly?
Why didn't they evacuate? Why didn't they evacuate? I keep seeing that. I need people to understand people were evacuating to go to the mountains, aka Asheville, aka to Tennessee, to get away from Helena. Biltmore is terrible and it's not even built to withhold floodings. Yes, I get that. I've lived in Asheville for 6 years. We get flash floodings. What you guys don't understand, the dam broke. I haven't been able to get in contact with my friends until today. There's no power. There's no water. The images coming out of Asheville right now are heartbreaking. Some people lost everything. I don't even know where the death toll stands right now, but I'm pretty sure like over the coming days, it's just gonna keep rising. People are still trapped in Asheville. Some places got it worse. Some people's homes are floating away. I keep seeing videos that are just like coming out of Asheville where I used to live, completely underwater. I was trying to book a flight to go back in and to look for my friends. No flights are going in. The roads are cut out. There's a lot of mountain slides, so the roads are literally eroding away. Thank God I got in touch with some of them. They're able to leave now and they're trying to find a route to just get out. But I need y'all to understand something. Asheville is not Florida. They're not gonna get ready for a hurricane like Florida. With that being said, people were evacuating the coast to go to the mountains to get away from the hurricane. That's what y'all need to understand.
Man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims, but that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail. Well, that man now wants answers and turned to Queen City News Chief Investigator Jody Barr to help figure out what went wrong here.
This is the original post that I was reading when I decided to go up and help. It's a long post, but she's saying that her kids and family and animals are trapped. No way out, no supplies, and the only way in or out is accessible by helicopter. Limited cell service and no water since Friday morning. I thought I have a helicopter and maybe I can help.
Jordan Sidham piled food and water into his helicopter Saturday and headed up toward Banner Elk, the only way through a mountain gap in Lake Lure.
This is the mountain valley that you would have to fly to get to Black Mountain, where we were escorting people out. This is a mountain range, and this is a mountain range. The only place to fly through with bad visibility, low cloud coverage, is Lake Lure.
The cries for help from people stranded without food, water, or electricity hit social media soon after the flooding last Friday.
But my parents are stuck there. Their address is Banner Elk. They are in the first condo. If you receive this, please give me a call back. Thank you.
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And his response was, there's so many messages, I don't think we can't not go help.
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. But that was all about to change. The Sidham spotted an older couple waiting for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
Hey, I want you to let me get in, you step out and go out. help her in, put her bag in the back, get her strapped in. I'm gonna take her down, come back. I'll take him, I'll come back, and then I'll get.
You just don't even know what to do. It's you came to try to help and figure out, okay, what's next now? And I mean, it's just too big. It looked to me like a lake that we've seen for many years, and my friends that live there have seen for their entire lives, and then their families' lives before that, turned into something that looked like probably a bit of a dump to anyone just looking at it. But when you put your eyes on it, it's just it's these massive things that are out there, and there's so many of them. They seem small, and it's almost like imagining one when it was moving. It was a blender that was just taking out anything in its path, absolutely anything. And now that it's there, and you try to start fathoming what a cleanup and a recovery looks like, this is going to take years and years and years to even get to a place that's solvable.
At least 6 impact factory workers have lost their lives and more are missing after they were allegedly told that they would be fired if they left work during the hurricane.
Why'd you make us work that day? Why? We shouldn't have worked. We shouldn't have been there. None of us should have been there.
Family members say that their loved ones never got word that they were allowed to leave and that they were told that the management was monitoring the situation. Some of the workers' relatives got frantic video phone calls as the flood swelled around impact plastics. Some employees were able to leave the industrial park using a truck owned by a neighboring company driven by a driver employed by that company. But due to the quickly rising water, the truck tipped over and 5 employees and a contractor aboard the truck went missing. They are now being counted among the deceased. 5 others who were also on the truck when it tipped over made it to safety and were later evacuated. A National Guard helicopter was subsequently dispatched to rescue those 5 employees, and they were airlifted to safety. Another set of employees had to depart by the CSX railroad track behind the facility due to high waters at the front door. Those employees were able to make it to an adjacent company where they were able to find safety.
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone. It's all gone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are your parents okay?
They're okay.
Was anybody in the gym?
It's okay, isn't it? Okay.
cannot be the only person that sees the pattern in this. The top map is missing children inside the United States. The bottom map is the cave system in the United States. Please look at the Appalachian Mountains and how they line up so perfectly. Please look at Texas. Please look at California. Please look at Tennessee. But hold on, I'm not done. This is like a hot to cold map for Amber Alerts inside the United States. So you can see Texas is number 1, Ohio is number 2, California is number 3. The blue states don't have a lot of Amber Alerts. Now look, the blue states also don't have cave systems in them. The red states all have cave systems and they all have a high number of missing children and Amber Alerts. But the blue states don't have a lot of Amber Alerts, don't have a lot of missing children, and they also don't have a lot of caves. I cannot be the only person that sees this. It makes me sick to my stomach to look at this. And just one more time, can we please look at the Appalachian Mountains? Because you can see the cave system, it makes a swoop. Missing children, it makes a swoop right there by the Appalachian Mountains, right where it runs that range. I'm sorry, but I can't be the only person that sees this. Now you do too.
James, you all right, bud? All right, we got to think about getting out of here because this is going to be.
It's okay if it's those.
James, you all right, bud?
Just put them on your head or something. You see, those are for you to take out. Because I'm.
More people come to see me than would ever come to see Kamala. They say I say it wrong. They're trying to say I'm racist because I won't get her name right, even though I think about her night and day. She's a beautiful girl. What can I say? I've shaken her hand multiple times. I never grabbed her in the place I like to grab them. I never did that. I don't get any credit for that. No one's giving me credit for that. Takes a lot of restraint. I'm not used to having a woman opponent. Hillary doesn't count. She wore a lot of pantsuits. And now it's like I'm saying they're arresting the dogs because I keep wanting to say they're arresting my friend, they're eating the dogs. I say they're arresting the dogs. I don't know, it just comes out. They're arresting the dogs. What do I do about that? I can't believe it. I'm gonna be the president. There's no possible way that I can lose again because I win bigly. I'm a big winner. Everybody knows that about me. Everybody knows that about me. Everybody knows that about me. You guys are so immature. It's like you like to pick the smallest little thing and you want to pick on me just because my wife hates me. I mean, she loves me. And they say, why don't you write down your speeches? A lot of these candidates will write down a speech and just read the whole speech. I like to fly off the top of my head because I have so many things that I want to talk about with you all. I have knowledge of a variety of topics and conversation points. Specifically, that. I didn't know. Apparently, there's a thing called consent. That's really weird. Things have changed so much, since I was born in the early 1900s.
I know this is real random, but y'all think people, like white people that stay in sundown towns, like got slaves? Or modern day slaves, like black people on their land? But we'll probably never know because we're not really allowed down there to be snooping around and looking for people. And these might be people with like no family or like older people of our generation that's probably not aware of like technology, not technology, but just like they're not up to date with a lot of stuff. Because I seen something on TV about that where this guy was still working for these white people and they give him, he works on the farm all day and they give him like free room and board like in their outhouse. They get to stay in a big house, but he in the outhouse. He's like an older gentleman, like 70, wearing overalls and all that stuff, didn't have a phone. And it was like a black journalist that went out there to interview him and was telling him like, hey, if you need some help or resources, I can help you get out of here. And it's like he didn't want to go. He was like, no. Mr. Terry treats me really nice. I work on his farm and he gives me, I get to stay here for free. It was just like a slave mentality. And I was like, bro, Pops probably don't even got a lot of family, or all his family probably dead. He ain't got no kids. But he probably don't even know, like, baby, this is not right. Like, then no, you're not supposed to do that. So I don't know. I just thought about that, like with sundown towns if they did have like black people on their land, first of all, land is huge. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you try to leave, where you gonna go? If everybody in the town white and they gonna hunt you down by the time you get to the highway, you can't really go nowhere. I don't know. I know it's random. I'm just thinking about it like, and we black, we can't go snooping to see what they doing in them type of towns because you ain't supposed to be there no way. And they'll get your ass out of there. So it's like, if y'all still doing that, I know y'all still doing some weird ass shit like that. Like, that's probably a possibility this day and age. I don't know.
So let's now have a look at what that might be like. For example, we know Florence is going to bring 1 to 3 feet of inundation across many locations. That certainly is enough to knock you off your feet. It can definitely stall cars out and even carry cars away, and certainly flood many of the lower levels of structures. But we know Florence is also going to bring water rises well above that, perhaps up to 6 feet. Now, 6 feet of water, imagine that. That carries large objects in it, like cars, for example, that can act like battering rams and enhance the damage that would otherwise be. And also, we know that can flood the lower levels of many structures. We also know that Florence is going to carry with it likely storm surge well above that, perhaps 9, 10 feet, maybe more. That will totally cover up one-story buildings and structures, leaving them underwater, and certainly pose a risk to many. There are very few places that are safe when the water rises this high. So please, follow the advice of your local officials and heed the evacuation warnings, and of course, stay updated on all.
You guys seen this video yet? This is crazy.
It's gonna hit the corner.
It didn't hit us.
Holy. It just ripped it in fucking half.
Somebody in the comment section replied, who made that building that he was living in? And somebody commented back, the same person that made that pole.
But this right here is mountain lore that I heard along the way that it sends chills down my bones now after everything that happened. And I'm not telling you to be superstitious or whatever, okay? I mean, you know, I'm already camped out with the God of the Bible. That's where I am. Power trucks passing through Boone. But I heard this folklore because I don't know, like, how many of y'all knew this, but there's a town at the bottom of Lake Lure. So we're talking about the Chimney Rock area, Lake Lure. There's a town at the bottom, and they train scuba divers out there at Lake Lure who dive down. And I mean, it still has structures standing there at the town, right? I heard a video one time, saw a video one time that said, like, there was curses or imprecations. I don't know if that's the right word, but there were curses on doing that because apparently, and I don't know if this is credible or not, but when they kept that town under there, they didn't relocate all the bodies, all the graves. That was the rumor I had heard. And someone said that because that area did that, like the folklore was because they kept the bodies at the bottom, or they didn't respect the dead or whatever, or I don't know, whatever the folklore, that more would one day join them. And Lake Lure would become a tomb, or the area would become a tomb or a grave. Now, if that rumor's true, because I don't know, I've been looking for like GoPro footage of like divers down there, but someone said there is a graveyard down there. And I've heard a mix of things. Some said that they relocated the bodies, but others, locals, claimed that no, they didn't, because that was an old. They said that was an old town. Because Asheville's old, y'all. Asheville and that area, civilized, is very, very, very old. And Lake Lure would be a stop, I think they said, from Asheville to Charlotte when traveling.
What's going on, guys? My cousin finna show you guys a trick for today. Y'all see all that in the water? Watch this, guys. Watch this monster come up and take this, guys. My cousin kind of spooked. See how he leaning back? That monster on the way. Ooh! You guys seen that?
Swam out there.